Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This is Troy from Cichlid Bros. In today's video, I'm going to be completely rehauling and restocking my 75-gallon aquarium that's currently in my fish room. I'm going to be setting up the entire aquarium today and unboxing some new fish that I've actually never kept before and I've always wanted to, so I can't wait to show what I picked up. And with all of that being said, let's dive right in. Okay, so I've had this 75-gallon aquarium for a long time now, and it's been set up in many different ways over the years. It started as a grow-out tank for my severums, my Geophagus tapajos, and my bala shark, but once I moved those into their bigger 180-gallon aquarium, it was time to restock the 75-gallon tank. I then added a baby Oscar, my chocolate cichlid, and they were growing out in this tank as well. Once they also moved to the 180-gallon aquarium, I restocked this tank completely with electric blue acaras and Geophagus finni as they were growing out in my fish room as well. My 75-gallon tank then moved into my fish room, which has gone through a lot of changes itself, but now the fish room looks much better, and as you can see, these fish in the 75-gallon tank grew quite a bit. Once most of these fish moved into my 150-gallon custom aquarium, this tank right behind me here, the 75-gallon tank was then mostly empty. And that left the 75-gallon tank with just one severum, a Nicaraguan cichlid, and two Synodontis petricola. In our most recent video, I added that red spot gold severum to the 180 as well, leaving us just with the Nicaraguan and the two catfish. The Nicaraguan cichlid that I have here is a Central American cichlid, so it doesn't really fit into my two South American cichlid tanks, and it doesn't really fit into my future plans for the 75-gallon tank that you'll see later in the video. So for now, I'm going to set up my 20-gallon quarantine tank again, but this time as more of a holding tank for my Nicaraguan cichlid. So it's time to start draining the tank and start rescaping this tank altogether. I started removing some of the rocks and the driftwood, not only so I could catch the Nicaraguan cichlid, but also because I'm going to be completely rescaping this tank. The sand I have in this tank is actually African Cichlid Mix, and I'm going to keep this sand in here because I'm getting African cichlids. Out of the three cichlid bros, I'm typically not the one that keeps African cichlids. Alec usually does. Right now he has a 125-gallon hap tank, but I've always really liked one type of African cichlid, and that's what's going to go in the 75-gallon tank. I also wanted to set up the 75-gallon tank as more of a permanent home and setup rather than just another grow-out tank like I had done before. So based on all of that and the title of this video, you may have already guessed, but I'm getting Peacock Cichlids for the 75-gallon tank. When setting up a Peacock Cichlid tank, you usually don't need a ton of decor as they are open water swimmers and you don't want to create a ton of territories that they defend against each other. A similar tank setup and approach would also be good for many of the hap species, and that's why sometimes peacocks and haps can also be in the same tank together. If I was setting up an Mbuna tank, I would get much more rock work, creating a lot of different territories and rock caves for them to swim in and out of. But again, for peacocks, I want to keep open water swimming space, and that's what you'll see with this scape. And when it comes to peacocks and haps, and you don't have a lot of decor in your tank or an intricate aquascape, it's not the end of the world because the fish themselves are so bright and colorful that they're really the decorations when it comes to one of these tank setups. So overall, I'm really happy with the simple yet effective scape that I have here. I can't wait to get the peacocks unboxed and into this tank. And when it comes to keeping African cichlids like your Mbuna, peacocks, and haps, they usually prefer higher pH and harder water, which is going to be perfect for me. My water out of the tap is both a high pH and hard water, so it's going to be a perfect environment and setup for them. So now that the tank is set up and ready to go, it's time to unbox the fish. Okay, so I just got my order this morning from Imperial Tropicals. It's still pretty early, my tank lights aren't even on yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing what I just got in this shipment. So as you know, I'm setting up a Peacock Cichlid tank, and on Imperial Tropicals website you can order a package of 10 male peacocks that they hand select. So that's what I went with, and they should all be in the 3 to 4 inch range. There are about 4 different types of peacocks that I know I for sure wanted, and if they're not in this group of fish, then I'll just order them and add them to the tank later. But overall there should be 10 fish in here. There might be an extra, there might be 11. So let's get this open and see what we got. As usual, some really good packaging from Imperial Tropicals. This isn't the first time I've ordered from them. It's probably around my 10th time ordering from them because they're just a really trusted source. Everything's still dry in the bag, which is a good sign. Okay, so we do have 11 fish here. I'm gonna show them all briefly, and then once they get floating and into the tank, I'll show a better, clearer view of each of these fish. All right, so the first one we got here, this is a 3 to 4 inch midnight peacock. Looks like it's got some nice blue color already. All right, this next fish was the add-on. It's one of the 4 that I knew I had to have, and this is the dragon blood peacock. It's a little smaller than the rest might be, but it's at about 2.5 to 3 inches, so it shouldn't be too much smaller. Hopefully it's not an issue. This is a 3 to 4 inch otter point peacock. Looks like he's trying to get out of the bag. Don't worry, buddy, it's gonna happen soon. All right, here's another really good looking fish. This is a blue fire peacock. It has some awesome color on the face, something I haven't seen before. It's a nice mix of reds and blues. All right, here's another one I really wanted, which is the Eureka red. It's a beautiful peacock. Here's one of the fish that I definitely wanted, and I knew just picking the package of 10 that Imperial Tropicals would likely send them, and this is a lemon jake. Really great yellow and blue in the face, and good size for this guy as well. All right, here's another one. Pretty good size on him and pretty dark colors. It's 3 to 4 inch blue dragon blood peacock. Awesome, so here's another great looking peacock. This is the ruby red. Looks like his color kind of washed out, but I'm sure it'll come back once we get it into the tank. And then we have an OB peacock. Really like the pattern and color on these guys. And last but not least, we have the Maulana Bicolor peacock. Can't really see too well in that bag. So overall, the size of these fish are great. There's already some good color on them. They'll definitely color up once I get them into the tank. So let's go ahead and get these guys floating and then into the tank.
Several days later.
So most of these Peacock Cichlids will probably double in size, and they'll start coloring up very soon. Some of them are already displaying some really good color at the 3-inch mark, and I can't wait to see how each of these are going to color up over time. As always, we'll be providing updates on this tank over time, so if you'd like to see the growth and progression of these fish and this tank, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss those updates. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week.